Dwight Gooden, thank you so much for joining me on Misunderstood. It is so good to see you again.
It's great to see you as well. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So here we are. We are at the Mets Fantasy Camp. Can you tell people what that is and what your role is here?
Yeah, so the Mets Fantasy Camp is fans that's living their dreams. They come down here for 2 weeks. They get a uniform. They get the home uniform, which is all white, and the road uniform is all gray. We share the same locker with the players as they do with the former players. They play 2 games a day. At night, we do different things. Like tonight, the coaches go out to eat with the players. Tomorrow night, what they call casino night. It's a charity event. We play casino, have a good time. Wednesday is called Kangaroo Court. That's where guys who maybe go off the bat without the helmet, wrong shoe, late, or do something crazy, they get fined $20. And two of the former players pretend to be judges. So it's just a fun time. Thursday is cocktail night. You just hang out at the games. But it's great, though. The guys get to come out here, they live out their fantasy. They get the jersey they want, the number they want. We get autographs, get to hang out with the guys. We have breakfast in the morning, lunch in the afternoon. I think it's like $5,000 to come down for a week. So I would say for all the Met fans who enjoy baseball and want to be around their former players and their favorite players, come down and it's a great time, and the weather's always great.
Right, absolutely. So they are absolutely living their dream if they get to hang out with people like you.
Yes,
Especially these Mets
I enjoy it too. This is my 10th straight year that I've been down here.
Oh, yeah?
I enjoy this as much because as a player, you don't get much time to really talk to the fans, because you got things to do and get ready for the game. Down here, you can reminisce a little bit, talk about your moments, get to know them. So now it's like a big family. Like a lot of these guys stay in contact year-round. A lot of doctors, police officers. I mean, you got a little bit of everything down here.
Right. And are they talking to you about your former highlights and where they were when you hit something or if you pitched something? Or are they all
for sure.
sharing that with you?
Yes. Last night at the welcome dinner, last night was the first night, so we had a welcome dinner. We teach them everything, explain everything. So there was one guy telling a story that when he was a kid, I tried to toss him a ball, but somebody jumped in the way to get it. So I signed the ball last night, and I had to get the mic and I said, hey, remember the ball that you didn't get? Here you go, and I tossed it to him.
Oh,
so they loved it.
That's
the guy
amazing.
was crying, and it was just great. And that's what it's
awesome.
all about. Yes.
So I want to go back, because obviously you've had a long history with the Mets.
Yes.
And I want to go back to your childhood. The first question I have for you is, how did you know you wanted to be a baseball player? Was there a backup plan? Did you want to be something else when you were a kid?
Great question. I always tell people, if I wasn't playing baseball, I have no idea what I'd be doing.
Really?
My dad was a baseball, he loved it. I mean, he just loved it. He knew all the teams line up, and growing up in Tampa in the 60s, we only had, one channel. We only watched Atlanta Braves from Tampa, and we listened to the games on the radio. So my dad, he coached Little League Baseball, coached girls softball, he coached semi-pro baseball. So I would follow him everywhere he goes. He could not leave the house without me following him. So kind of growing around baseball when I was small, the guys would roll me the ball. As I got older, they tossed me the ball. So once I got old enough to play organized ball, a guy that played on my dad's team was coaching a Little League team. And he said, just sign up and I'll get you on my team. So I signed up and got me on his team, and I just started playing from there.
And were you a natural from the beginning?
It's funny. So my first year, I was playing, and I remember I was waiting to go up the bat, and I saw my parents in the stands, and for some reason, I just got jitterbugs or something. I would not
got nervous?
I got very nervous. I don't know why. And so I didn't go up to hit. I said I didn't want to play anymore. So for my parents to watch me play, they had to watch me from across the street. And then when I would get home, they would tell me what I did. Then I felt like it was okay for them to watch me play. But I would say from probably 9 to 12, I just totally dominated. But then we go to the bigger field with the 13, 14, 15-year-olds. Things kind of even out a little bit. And then I didn't know that I had a shot at playing Major League Baseball probably to my junior in high school.
Right. Now, how did you get into pitching? Was it a position a coach put you in, or did you know that that's where your strong suit lied? How did you decide that was your position? You know what?
Oh, man, you got some great questions. You're on top of it. So my dad, he taught me and my nephew, Gary Sheffield, who played professional baseball. We lived in the same house. Somehow my dad knew I was going to be the pitcher and Gary was going to be the hitter. So when we used to watch the games to a little, I'm talking like 9, 10 years old. I'm 4 years old than Gary. He said, do you guys love the game? I said, yes. He said, every day he comes home from work, we're going to go to the park. I said, all right, no problem. We go to the park. We did all these drills, but it wasn't fun because we couldn't take a glove, you couldn't take a bat, you couldn't take a ball. He just teaching us all about mechanics and teaching Gary how to hold a bat. So the one thing I regret is before my dad passed away, I never asked him where he get his knowledge from. But he taught us all that. And so going into playing organized baseball, he just started off pitching, and Gary was starting off hitting, and it just kind of happened.
Right.
Even though I didn't like pitching that much because the guy would pitch me like every chance he get, but I was the type of player, I want to die for the balls, I want to slide, get my uniform dirty. But That was my ticket.
Right.
But I always wanted to be a hitter, but pitching was my ticket.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Now, how were you scouted for the first time?
First time, so I got my when I was in high school, I'm telling my age now, we didn't have freshmen and all that stuff. So it started like 10th grade, sophomore year on.
Okay, yeah.
And our team was loaded. We had 3 guys that went on to play professional baseball. So we would play Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. I was a good hitter in high school. So we had a guy, Floyd Yeomans, who played professional. I got Vance Lovelace, who was a professional. And Albert Everett, who was Carl Everett, who played with the Mets, his bigger brother.
Okay.
So those guys were the starting pitchers because my sophomore year, let me back up. My sophomore year, I made the team, but the coach felt sophomores don't play. You just on the team, you learn this and that. But I felt that I was better than some guys in the playing, so I quit the team.
Okay.
And then the next year I went back out. He treated me like a sophomore. I had to try out, had to do all the positions. So I played outfield, a little bit of infield, but I wasn't pitching. So I was a little upset, but then he said, you'll be a relief pitcher. So if I got in trouble, I would come in and pitch a little bit. And halfway through the season, you almost got kicked off the team for missing practice, and I got into the starting rotation. And once I got in, I just totally took over. I just totally dominated. And that's where the scouts were like, started watching me because they'll come to the game to see the other pitchers.
I see.
And then they're packing their bags and they hit a mitt popping. This is what my dad told me. They hit a mitt popping. Went back and then they opened the suitcase back over. They had the radar gun in it and it came back out. And so technically I tell kids I only played a year and a half. So never give up on your dream.
Yeah, that's obviously happened to you and a good lesson. So, okay, how did you first get, so the scout came in and said, we want you to play with the minors for the Mets.
Oh, so They scout you, right? And so they call watching and give a letter and say, oh, we want to try you out. They'll come get me out of class. They'll see me throw. They'll let me hit. And then they always take me to the mound to throw. And so they say, if we get a chance to sign you, we're going to sign you. I'm like, okay. So I didn't know much about it. And then my high school coach told me that I would probably go between the 10th and the 15th round. So I signed a letter of intent to go to the University of Miami. And so the day of the draft, I was down in Tampa with a couple of guys and watching the board. It's not like now where the guys go to MLB Networks or ESPN to run the whole thing when you watch the draft. Back then, you go watch it on TV or you go to the newspapers stand, or station, and they have a little screen going across. So I went there, and I'm thinking 10th to 15th round, and then you see first round, I think Sean Johnson was more with the Cubs, and I forget the other 3 guys. Then the Mets came up, and you see Dwight Gooden, 5th pick, first round. So I had the guy call New York to make sure it was right because I'm like, no way. Based on what my coach told me.
Yeah.
He said, no, they're taking you. And I was like, couldn't believe it. Me and a friend came to the station to see it. My friend had to drive me back even though it was my dad's car. I was just so excited because, we grew up in the inner city.
Yeah.
At one time, me and my dad, we shared the same winter coat, sitting by the stove to get heat and stuff like that. So my whole goal was that I made it. My mom was like, yeah, but you got to school, go to school. But I said, Mom, I'm going to sign no matter what they get me. So my dad did my first contract. He negotiated, we signed. And the biggest thing for me was get my mom a house and get my dad a car.
Right.
At that point, my job was done. But even though I went on to play a long time.
Right.